Oh, hey, I didn't even see you there, but you know what? Now that you're here, I'm your host, Kevin Kiley. And guess what? A brand new episode of Magical Melody starts right now. What's up, everyone? Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm so excited to be here today on the second episode of Magical Melodies. Oh my gosh, we have such a fun show in store. I have Sabrina Paulson hanging out in the wings right now. She's going to come on in a few minutes. We're going to talk all things Disney. So excited about her. Check her out. Again, her TikTok is Thrilling Adventures of Sab, and her Instagram is that as well. She's amazing. She's got the inside scoop. But before we get into that, special shout out to Caitlin Farizi. I apologize if I'm saying your name wrong. Thank you so much for sending this to me. This is so cute. I think these are like pretty old. I don't know how recent or not they were, but like it's Tinkerbell. Come on, like this is amazing. Thank you so much. That was so sweet of you. Also, for those that are asking, the queen herself, she's not here today, but she did leave us a little cute illustration. This is a picture from my beautiful niece. We love her. Shout out Layla. Your fans are missing you. I am so excited to be here today. I've been really looking forward to this second episode. Hi, Brittany. Oh my goodness. And we have my BFF Caitlin in the wings in the chat. First of all, I need to take a minute to pause for a minute, and I just wanted to say congratulations to my best friend Caitlin. She got engaged this week. I'm so happy for you and Bobby. You guys are amazing. Your story is so beautiful. I'm so happy for you guys. You deserve all the happiness. So happy. So we're gonna take a quick moment. We're gonna chip the tea. Get it? Chip the tea. So, Tiana's Bayou Adventure, opening on June 28th. Are we excited or what? Are we excited or what? I'm so excited. I missed the ride of Splash Mountain, the nostalgia of it all. I'm so ready to be back in there with this refreshed 2024 ride. Like, it's going to be so amazing. Funny enough, I have a trip from June 7th to June 11th in Disney, and I am literally gonna be missing pass holder previews and like the grand opening by like a few weeks. So you know what? That's all right though. We will go when the time is right, but I'm so excited about that. Also, I said to myself, do I need a magic band or do I not? And then like a strong gust of wind blew me into the Disney store, and you know what? I walked out with a magic band. So I thought this one was so cute. I don't know if you can see it. I don't know if you've seen the movie Wish. It says on the little thingy, magic in every wish. I don't know why, but that was so important to me, and I feel like that just really stood out. Um, and that's just like a nice reminder that there is magic in every wish, and always, keeping going and just trying to be as positive as possible is just like hard in today's day and age, which, I talked a little bit about last time, but you find little things that bring joy to you and make you happy, and like sometimes you need that little bit of a reminder, right? Like there is magic in every wish, and there's magic in everything that you do. So thank you so much for being here today. I'm so excited. Let's check out who else we got in the comments. Hi, Monica. Hi, Stephanie. Miss you. Breakthrough Show Network in his house. Best network ever. Caitlin, we're so happy for you over here. The tea is served. All right, my friends. Well, I think I think the people are ready for Miss Sabrina. What do you think? All right, we'll bring her out right after this. What's up, Sabrina? Friends, fans, please give a warm welcome to Sabrina Paulson. Thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you for having me. I'm very, very excited.
I literally fell in love with your TikToks. You're so cool. You're so down to earth, and you just have like such a way of explaining things, which is really helpful because some people just like expect you to know everything about everything, and it's like, no, like not everybody's an expert in A, B, C, D, E, F, G. You know what I mean?
Right. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, no, I'm so happy that you're here. I want to start with a few icebreakers before we get into the burning question of Genie Plus and all that good stuff, if that's cool with you. When's the first time that you went to Disney World?
So I grew up going to Disney World. My family we always went to Disney World when we were kids. I have two sisters. So it wasn't something where we did like the yearly trips, but we went pretty regularly. I don't know exactly like when the first time I went, but since I was little, I have pictures from probably like 2 or 3. Like, so I've been going for pretty much my whole life.
Yeah, you've had the magic in you forever.
Yeah, it's ingrained in me from a kid.
I love it. Do you have any fun stories? Like last time I told the folk how I was missing and leading a parade with Snow White at the age of like 7. Mm-hmm. You know, as one does.
Right. It's very casual. I don't know if I have really any like crazy like standout stories.
Yeah.
I got lost in SeaWorld once, but obviously not Disney World. I don't know if I have any crazy stories from Disney.
Yeah. I love it though. I mean, mine's embarrassing enough for us both, so we'll go
right. I will say, this is definitely fine. So I live in Orlando.
Yeah.
But before I moved, about 2 weeks, my boyfriend and I came for. He had never been to Disney, so he was very great. We went on a trip, and 2 weeks later we moved, and we were eating dinner. Yeah.
Wow. Okay, that's amazing.
So we had it planned, so we had our trip planned, and then we were like, let's just move. But we wanted to keep our trip because he had never been. And so we were eating dinner at Topolino's.
Yeah.
And so Topolino's is obviously at the top of the Riviera. So there's, it's a little windy up there, and I was wearing a dress. And a little gust of wind just, again, no like fun, cute, like little kid stories. Like I'm leading the parade. But an embarrassing, sorry to the people behind me.
A little extra gust of magic, if you will, right?
Right. Yeah.
I love it so much. Hi, mermaid. We have the real life Ariel on joining us right now. Oh my gosh, so much fun, so amazing. So, what inspired you to become like a Disney influencer?
So I think the main thing was I'd always loved the idea of like content creation, which is, I don't know if I would technically consider myself like an influencer. I definitely more kind of feel like content creator, I guess. But I think I'd always loved the idea of it. I'd always grown up like watching YouTube and social media, obviously. And then actually during COVID, as I feel like a lot of us did, we kind of like found something to like latch onto.
Yeah.
And I started watching a lot of like Disney vloggers.
Yeah.
A lot of like All Ears. I don't know if you're familiar with All Ears at all, but they do a lot of like informational Disney videos. And I was like, I really want to do content creation, but I wanted to make sure that I like had like a niche that I was going into.
Yeah.
So that was kind of like my stipulation of you can move to Orlando, but you need to follow through with actually finally like doing content creation.
Right.
So I kind of used it as like a bargaining chip. So it was always something that I wanted to do, but I grew up in Massachusetts. There's not really a whole lot to do in Massachusetts.
Right. I mean, I'm in Connecticut, so we're kind of in the same wavelength.
Yeah. So it was very much just, I've always wanted to do content creation. I always knew that if I did it, I wanted to do something that was just like helpful. I
Yeah,
didn't really want to do something where I was like trying to sell things all the time.
right.
And I really just like learning how to do Disney World well. And I was like, well, I have all this information. I might as well share it. So yeah.
And you know what? Thank the Lord above that you shared all that information, because the way you share it, like I said, is really special because you have a way about you that kind of explains things. Like you really want to help people. You want to educate what you know and not just kind of like gatekeep things that like it shouldn't
Yeah.
be. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Absolutely not.
Yeah, and it's interesting that you say that because I felt the same way about going back to content creating and like kind of saying like finding your niche and stuff like that. And it's like, in the past, I did videos and things here and there and like lives and stuff like that here and there, but like I
Yeah.
had a hard time of staying consistent with it because I wasn't 110% passionate about what I was
Mhm.
talking about, and I didn't
Yeah.
know what I was going to do next and that kind of thing. So I totally relate to what you're saying because when you find that niche, it's like it doesn't feel like a job, right? It feels like
Right.
like happiness, and just it's easy. Like I
Yeah.
was looking forward to being with you since you agreed. And you know what? Also, shout out to you because you're the first person before any episode came out that said yes and agreed to come on my show. So thank you so much for giving me a chance. I really
Of
do
course.
appreciate that.
Yeah, of course.
And so this to kind of piggyback off of that, how do you stay authentic to your own voice, in your own style, while also engaging with the Disney brand and like content and stuff like that?
Yeah, um I think just being authentic is really hard. I feel like especially in like the Disney space, it's very easy to get kind of swept up into like the beautiful especially like
Yeah,
for me obvious being a girl, like
yeah,
the fancy dresses and always looking very like aesthetic and nice and the Disney bounding, and it's really easy to like get swept up in all of
yeah,
that.
yeah,
And I found myself doing that at the beginning, like really trying to fit this like aesthetic mold of wanting to um, look a certain way and feel like I was, stylish and cute. And then I was like, that's never been me. I'm not a very like, I wear Disney t-shirts. Like I'm not a super stylish person.
yeah,
So I think just, figuring out what my strengths are and not so much trying to like follow what other people are doing. And not that any of like what I said is bad. Like if I
yeah,
love the girls who go in their cute dresses and their cute outfits, I
yeah,
think it's awesome because I'm not fashionable at all. But I think just realizing like that's not my strength. My strength is sharing information and trying to help people. It's
yeah,
something that we've done even like outside of Disney. So I think just realizing that like knowing what your strengths are and then kind of like leaning into that helps people like realize that I'm not trying to be someone else. I'm doing like what I'm good at.
right. Yeah, you're being you, and exactly, and you're going with what you're good at. And you know what? I give those people credit that go to the parks in fancy ball gowns and the
Oh
whole
yeah.
nine, because listen, it's hot. I mean, your
Yeah.
videos, your pictures are beautiful. I wish I could do that, but you know what? It's like I'm in shorts, I'm in a Disney t-shirt and a hat
Yeah.
half the time, sweating.
Right. 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 And it's like I love those people. I follow those people, and
Yeah,
I that is there's not one type of Disney content creation that's better than the other
right.
because there are people who love I love looking at the people who build their cute little outfits. But
100%. It makes me happy, and like
right,
kudos to them. Like
right.
honestly, like it's so amazing.
Yeah, I
Um,
just am not good at it.
yeah. So with such a vast, array of Disney movies, the park situations, the new things that are coming up, character stories, like how do you decide on like what's important maybe to focus on like in your content, or just like how do you kind of like categorize that?
I think I first of all, I take the stuff that I really like I care about. Like for me, I'm a big foodie. I love food, so you'll see that I make a lot of food content because I like food. I eat a lot of Disney food. Um, and then also I try and keep up to date with things that are like new and upcoming. I'm not perfect with it, but I try and keep up to date with that. And then also just like thinking about what do I prioritize and
Yeah,
what did I grow up doing that made me love the park so
yeah,
much. Um, and it was I remember my sister and I would go to the parks, and she was really the one who like was the big planner, and she would plan everything and know how to do everything and do back when it was Fast Pass, she would do the Fast Passes. So I think just like seeing her do that, and I was like, wow, it was really enjoyable when we knew how to do that, when we were familiar with the parks and knew how to tackle everything. Um, so I think mainly just like knowing what helped me and
Yeah.
saying that like it helped me. I had a good time. Hopefully I can help, other people do that as well.
Yeah, no, for sure. Exactly. And lastly, before we get into the other side of Genie Plus and all that fun stuff, what do you hope your specific targeted audience takes away from, your Disney related content and kind of what you put out there?
I mean, I think mostly I just hope people have a good time. Obviously, Disney can be a little um, controversial, isn't the word I'm looking for, but I feel like you either have people who like love it or you have people who
Right.
are like that so like cringy and weird.
Yep.
So I think for the biggest thing, like a lot of people go to Disney and it's like this is the one time that they go and you're spending thousands of dollars to go here.
Yep.
So I think my biggest thing is I want to make sure that people are going and whether they go, multiple times a year, whether they're locals, whether they're, going on their once in a lifetime trip, I
Yeah.
hope that they're getting something like helpful that makes their trip just a little bit better
Right.
because I know how much I love Disney and I want other people to also love Disney like
Yeah,
that. So,
right. Like you want them to have that special experience too, because for some people, they only have maybe one chance to go,
right.
or
Yeah.
something like that. And it's like you don't want to spend your time, 4 or 5 hours in one park in the line for one ride when there's other ways to kind of navigate things and kind of
Right.
get your full money's worth, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Um,
That's like I think my biggest thing is just not having people waste money when they're at a park
Yeah,
because
exactly,
it's so
exactly.
expensive.
And you know what? It's very appreciated, I'm sure, by people that to see that content and kind of have different outlooks and kind of different ways because so many people get turned away from
Yeah.
wanting to go to Disney or what you will because of the
Of
cost
the
and because they
cost.
don't know how to do all of the pieces and the moving parts
Yeah.
because it is a lot. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, they'll go and they'll only get to go on like one or two rides because,
Yeah.
they weren't super familiar with anything. And then they're like, well, no, why would anyone ever pay this much money to do that? And there are ways that you can really make the most out of it.
Right, exactly. And that's super, super important for people that don't know that to know.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I mentioned earlier in my intro, Tiana's Bayou Adventure. Are you excited for it? I'm so excited.
I Tiana's one of my like favorite princesses. So obviously I like Splash Mountain. There's a lot of nostalgia behind Splash Mountain.
100%.
I'm not sad to see it go. I'm sad, but like I'm ready for Tiana's. I
Yeah,
love Tiana. I think she needs a ride. She needs representation
yeah,
in the parks. Um,
yeah.
so I'm so excited. I think the ride looks like beautiful from the outside.
I
Um,
know. I know.
I
The
just
flowers and everything is
I
so
know.
pristine. Like when I went in March, like I walked by it and it was so, so beautiful. And it
Yeah.
wasn't even like halfway done at that
Right.
point.
Right. And
But,
like the
um,
animatronics. Oh my god, they look
yeah,
so good.
so beautiful. And I just like I love like Splash Mountain since I was a little kid was my number one favorite ride just because
Yeah.
I loved the story. I loved the ups and the downs and the whole 9 yards of it.
Yeah.
So just like you said, for nostalgic purposes, I definitely miss certain things about that.
Yeah.
I'm very excited to see like the refreshed
Mhm.
ride with a new princess, that deserves to have
Right.
that kind of platform in
Right.
the parks, I
Yeah.
would say. Um, yeah, I'm so excited for that. I can't wait. I'm probably gonna get to go on it hopefully in August since I'm missing it by just
Yeah.
like a few days.
Yeah, I know that stinks.
Which is really offensive, honestly, right?
I know, I know.
Really?
I know. I probably won't get to ride it until it like officially opens.
Yeah,
I tried to get online for an annual pass holder preview.
yeah.
I couldn't even get a reservation.
Well, I
So
heard that the website was like shutting
yeah,
down the minute the gates
yeah,
open.
yeah. I was surprised that they chose to do a virtual queue for it rather than like picking slots. I'm pretty sure for Tron they had it where you could pick time slots. Um,
Right.
so I'm kind of surprised they went with the virtual queue. I think they probably did that to try and like not have as many people, but I
Yeah.
don't know.
Yeah, and what's interesting too, I did hear that they are not going to be doing the virtual queue for like that long. Like it's only going to be maybe like the first couple of weeks, I heard.
For
Um,
Splash or for Tiana's Bayou Adventure.
yeah,
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 I feel like that doesn't surprise me too much, especially since it's the same ride system and
yeah,
they know that like they'll probably just put it with like an individual lightning lane
Yeah,
so that people
exactly.
will
Because
look
let's
for
be
it.
real, it's like the summer is about to be here, and it's like that line, like the virtual queue, and like that would probably be like disastrous. Probably be like
Yeah.
hours and hours and
Right,
hours.
right. So I think it's just better to do like the standby line, and because they know that they've like had the standby line for the same ride before.
Yeah,
So
yeah. Um, all right, my friend. So we're gonna cut to a quick commercial break, and then we're coming back with all things Genie Plus. We'll be right
all
back,
right.
friends.
Breakthroughs are about more than you might think. They're about discovering who you are, digging deep, reaching to the core of your soul. They're about healing yourself, understanding your beliefs, creating a ripple effect. And it's not just those initial moments that matter. It's about using them to bring more joy into our own lives and the lives of others. It's about having fun, letting loose, enjoying every moment life has to offer. It's about finding a safe space. It's about creating connection. Join us each and every day for exclusive programming, special events, and a community to call home, where we invite you to explore, change the way you look at and live your life, and go beyond the breakthrough. So we ask you, are you ready? We'll see you online at thebreakthroughshow.com.
All right, my friends, thanks for hanging in. We are back. All right, we got a comment from Miss Sarah. Let's see. I went on Splash Mountain once and nearly died. This made me sit in the front row. I looked like a drowned rat. You know, it does have that effect on people. Funny story. I was on it once with a friend, and we were laughing so hard at the wrong part. Okay, we were laughing as you get to the top and go down, and splash right down our throats. And you know what? We continue to laugh because it's just like, what are you going to do at that point? All right, my friends, the time has come. We're going to get into some things Genie Plus because it was like a number one question that everybody asked. And I know it's confusing. Honestly, even I have some confusion on it myself. So let's start with that. So Sabrina, what is Genie Plus? Let's just talk about that as a little introduction to those that may not have a single clue what we're talking about.
I was gonna say that's a big question.
Yeah.
No, Genie Plus is basically Disney's newest like skip the line service. So if a lot of people have heard of Fast Pass Plus, or just like Fast Passes in general. Genie Plus is basically just the option that Disney World has to get into like an expedited queue. So basically like a skip the line expedited queue service, so that you're not sitting in line all day. Because
Okay.
obviously Disney World has really popular attractions. They get really long waits. So it's basically just a tool that you can use, that you purchase, that kind of helps you skip some of those lines and maximize a little bit more of your day.
Yeah. No, that's awesome. Now, to my understanding, not every ride or attraction is part of Genie Plus. Is that right?
Yeah, so there are like three different tiers of Disney Genie as a whole.
Yeah.
So you have Disney Genie, which is basically powered by I think like AI of some sort,
Okay.
and you can go onto the app and it gives you recommendations. So if it shows that Space Mountain might have a low weight at some point, it will give you the recommendation of like, hey, maybe try Space Mountain. The weight's pretty low. And then you have Disney Genie Plus, which is what most people hear. That has most of your attractions, pretty much everything except like your top tier, most popular attractions.
Okay.
So that's like your Haunted Mansion. I'm going to use Magic Kingdom pretty
Yeah.
much as
Perfect.
so like Haunted Mansion, Jungle Cruise, Peter Pan's Flight, And then you have what's called individual lightning lanes, which these are attractions that are not included in Genie Plus, and they're a separate charge.
Okay.
So these are going to be your rides like Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind, Tron Light Cycle Run, Seven Dwarfs Mine Train, and then in Animal Kingdom, Avatar Flight of Passage, and then Epcot.
Amazing. I went on that ride for the first time in March, and it literally blew my mind.
Which one?
Flight of Passage.
Oh my god, it's so good. It's so good.
Like the breathing, like what?
Mhm.
Like I can't. So, all right. So you have your bundle, and then for the top tier ones, you might have to pay a little. You do have to pay a little extra for it. It's like a separate.
Yeah, if you want to skip the line.
Okay.
Yep.
So that's cool. Okay, so that you'll go into Lightning Lane. So there's 2 charges, and now correct me if I'm wrong, but the price of Genie Plus, it varies from day to day, kind of thing.
Yeah. So it used to be when they rolled out Genie Plus, and the first time I used it, it was $15 per person per day. So it's a per person charge, per day charge, and it was just $15. So it didn't matter which park you were going to. It didn't matter what day you were going. It was $15. Once they realized, yeah. Then, of course, they realized that they can, depending on, if it's a weekend, if it's a busy week, and even based on parks, now they vary the price. So you'll see Magic Kingdom tends to be the most expensive, and it can range anywhere from like $15 being the cheapest to, I think I saw it get up to, like, it was either $35 or like $39, an insane price.
Yeah.
Quite honest.
Yeah.
Per person per day, in like the summer or around the holidays. And again, it varies by park. So Magic Kingdom will be the most expensive. Animal Kingdom tends to be the least expensive.
Right.
And then if you want a park hopper option, that's the most expensive price.
The top of the top kind of thing.
Yeah. So it's typically the same price as like the Magic Kingdom cost.
Gotcha. Now, when can I purchase Genie Plus at Disney World? Can I do it in advance with my ticket, or would it kind of be like a day of kind of thing?
Yeah, so for Disney World, again, this is something that they changed as well. So when they rolled it out, you could buy it with your tickets.
Right.
But now for specifically Disney World, Disneyland is different. Disney World, you can buy it anytime after midnight the day of the park. So if I was going to a park tomorrow at 12:01 tonight, I could go on and buy Genie Plus.
Okay.
Mhm.
And you could pick. Now, how many can you secure at first? Is it just like one, and then once you do with that one, you could kind of reserve another one? Like, how does that work?
So if I buy Genie Plus, say at midnight,
Yeah.
I can't book anything until 7 a.m.
Okay.
So 7 a.m. is when you can book your first one. And then there are 3 ways that you can book another one.
Okay.
So you can always start with one. And then you can book another one once you've used your first one. You can book another one if your time expires. So say at 7, I book a return time for like 9 a.m. until 10 a.m. But I miss it. I don't show up on time. I just don't ride it.
Right.
I can book one once that return time is over, because return times are an hour. Or, and this is what really confuses people, is it's called, or at least this is what I hear it referred to. It's called the 120-minute rule.
Okay.
So it is either 120 minutes after the park opens,
Okay.
or 120 minutes after you've booked. So I think it's best to give examples.
Yeah.
So if I booked at 7 and so Slinky Dog Dash is one that tends to book really far out. So at 7, I book a Slinky Dog Dash for 1 p.m. until 2 p.m. And Hollywood Studios opens at 9 a.m. 120 minutes after the park opens, I can book another one. Okay. So at 11 a.m., I would be able to book another one, and then I have 2.
Got it.
Or if I book at 10 a.m., say if I book something for 6 p.m.,
right,
120 minutes after that, so at 12 p.m., I could book another one.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, and it tells you on the app, it will say it has like when you can book. So it tells you when the next time you can book is.
So it kind of spells it out for you, because that I know is probably really confusing.
Yeah.
So, that just answered my next question because I was going to ask you, can you purchase Genie Plus without a park reservation? But because I know that for some of us, like for not no, excuse me, pass holders still have to have a reservation, but for the
Yeah.
regular tickets, you do not. So it would just kind of be anytime after midnight kind of thing to purchase that, right? For either one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. Now, so we have Mickey's Not So Scary coming up. We have the Christmas party coming up. Can you purchase Genie Plus during a party? Do you know?
So Genie Plus isn't valid during parties.
Okay.
Just because the ride times are typically pretty short anyway.
Yeah.
So you don't really need it.
Yeah.
I know you can still use, and I'm only saying this because this is a question that I get sometimes.
Yeah.
You can still use the disability access service during parties.
Right.
But Genie Plus,
it's not really needed, right? Because the wait times are usually lower anyways.
Yeah.
Do you have a favorite party?
So I've only been to both once. I might get up in a second to shut that blind.
Do your thing.
Here, give me one
Do your
second.
thing. Do your thing. So for those that don't know, the parties are they do a couple a year. So there's Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party, which is the Halloween time. I believe it starts in August 9th this year, I want to say. And then there's the Christmas one, which I've never been to the Christmas one. I'm going this year for the first time. I'm super excited about that. And they launched a new one last year, right? Jollywood in Hollywood.
Yeah, yep. Yeah. So I didn't get to go to Jollywood Nights. But I went to Mickey's Not So Scary and I went to Mickey's Very Merry.
Yeah.
I think they're both great. I personally prefer Mickey's Very Merry just because I'm pretty much a Christmas baby. I was born on December 23rd. I love Christmas.
I wasn't born on December 23rd, but Christmas is my thing. 100%.
Yeah.
So I get that.
And I love Halloween, but living in Orlando, when you also have Halloween Horror Nights, which is over at Universal.
Amazing.
I tend to lean towards Horror Nights.
Yeah.
But I think they're both good. And I think especially like if you want to do a Disney party, I think doing them at least once is fun. I think the like Very Merry is a little bit more, you get a little bit more with your ticket, especially because you get the free like hot chocolate and the free cookies.
That's cool.
Even though it's a little bit more expensive.
Right.
But I haven't done Jollywood Nights. I would like to try, but it's a little pricey for what they're offering compared to Very Merry. They're like very similar prices, and you get a little more with Very Merry. So.
And you know what? It's like, I don't know, when I think of like Christmas and stuff like that, and in like that kind of vibe, it's like I do see it, like the Magic Kingdom. Like I do see all of that like really blossoming and kind of what like catches my eye. But one of my friends went to Jollywood last year, and she said it was absolutely amazing. Kind of went in with no expectations.
Yeah.
Blew her mind. So I am hoping that they bring it back this year to have the possibility, because I believe last year was the first year that it was launched, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know, but I'm so excited for Very Merry because I was supposed to go to it a couple years ago, but I had some medical thing happen and I wasn't able to go.
Yeah.
My time got delayed when I went to like January and it was over at that point. Mm-hmm. So I'm really looking forward to seeing that. But I love Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party, the Hocus Pocus show, where it's at.
Yeah, the day that I went, it pretty much rained almost the entire night.
Yeah.
So our Hocus Pocus show got shortened. So I think that's probably another thing that I kind of have am factoring in is the only time I went, it pretty much rained the whole time. But I love the Booty You parade. I think I like the candy stations.
Yeah.
I think it's a lot of fun. But
Can we bring back night parades? Because like they're so amazing. Like they're so much fun, right?
Yeah. I don't know why they took it away, honestly. But
I was obsessed with the light parade in Magic Kingdom. Like it was so cool. Like, I don't know. There's something about watching a parade at night sometimes too, where it's just like fun. Like that's why the one for Mickey's Not So Scary is so much fun because it's like different. Like you get to see that all the time, right?
Yeah. I will say out of the two parades, I don't know. I was gonna say out of the two parades, I like Booty You better, but the Very Merry Christmas Party has like a very special place in my heart.
Yeah. So they do a parade during that too?
Yeah, yep. I'm gonna mess up the name.
That's okay.
Like Mickey and Minnie's. celebration, Christmas parade. I don't know.
That's
But
cool.
yeah, that one, it's the one where you've probably seen clips of it. It has like the walking reindeer.
Oh, and the Nutcrackers, right?
Yes, yes,
Yeah,
the
yeah,
toy
yeah. I
soldiers.
actually saw a
Yep.
video of that today. That's so cool. I need
Yeah,
to check
so
that.
I remember like watching that when I was little and thinking like, wow, I don't know if I'll ever be able to go to Disney World around like the holidays
Yeah,
because it's just like so expensive.
yeah,
But
yeah.
now we're
Everything.
here.
No, but that's amazing though, and that's so exciting. What is your favorite park? I know that's hard.
I know. I have like things that I like about all of them. I think overall, I have to say Hollywood Studios.
Hmm.
I think the vibes of Hollywood Studios. I
Yeah.
think Hollywood Studios has um, the best overall like attractions. I like Star Wars a lot, so I love Rise,
Yeah.
Tower of Terror, of course,
Love.
and then right, and then their live shows too. Like
Yes.
the live entertainment at Hollywood Studios. I just think there's the most to do there. I
Yeah.
like it there at night. I like it there during the holidays. So I think
You
I
know
have
what?
to go, even though it like hurts me a little bit to pick a favorite. I think I have to go with Hollywood Studios.
You know what? I have to agree with you. And like, I was gung ho on Magic Kingdom for so long. And don't get me wrong, it's still a number one favorite. It's still literally like part of my heart, always will be
Yeah,
because it's like the magic, of
right.
course. But as an adult, I'm like, Epcot and Hollywood Studios like have really done it for me, and it's just like
Yeah,
I love the entertainment at Hollywood Studios. I love Beauty and the Beast. I can't wait for
mhm.
the new Voyage of the Little Mermaid to open up because
Yep.
I miss that Fantasmic. Like,
I know,
I
I
mean,
know.
come on. And you know what? Not for anything. You're walking around in the hot sun all day. Your feet are on fire. You probably walk like 20,000 steps. Getting to sit down in a nice outdoor theater, enjoying
Yeah,
Fantasmic. Come on. What gets better than that?
I know. I also think this year I decided once Fantasmic came back, um, that Fantasmic is just it's the best nighttime show. And
Yeah.
I love the fireworks, but
Oh,
there's
it's amazing. It's
nothing
so
beats
amazing.
Phantasmic. It's so good.
Um, Tokyo Disney Sea last week. That is so cool. I've been
I am
seeing it.
so jealous.
I'm jealous too, honestly.
I
Like,
want to go to Tokyo Disney Sea so bad.
it looks so beautiful. I like
Mhm.
literally don't even have words. Like it's so
Yeah.
amazing.
I'm gonna mention All Ears was a big factor into me getting into all of this. And the All Ears team, two of the girls just went to, but they're posting their videos from it, and they did Tokyo Disney Sea.
Yeah,
And I was watching the video, and I'm like, I want to be there. I
you're
want to
right.
go
It's literally
there.
breathtaking, right? It's literally breathtaking.
Yeah, it's just like, well, it's such like a newer park, so like everything is to the level that like Rise of the Resistance is or
Yeah,
Guardians of the Galaxy, but everything is like that. So
exactly. And it's just like so like I don't know the way their animatronics are and things like that. It's
yeah,
so interesting to see all the other parks in the world, like just kind of how they have their own magic take on it. Like I really find that
right.
so fascinating to me.
Me too.
Um, I'm like literally, I can't wait. Like it's like you do your trip, your Disney trip, and then it's like you're tired for like a day because it's a lot, and then
Yeah,
it's like when am I, what's next? Like let's
yeah,
get this
yep.
going.
Oh yeah, and I've always like felt that specifically with Disney World, and it was
Yeah,
funny because when we moved here, my boyfriend was like, "Oh, good, like we'll move here and then like we'll live here and then we can like explore other places." I was
yeah,
like, "Yeah, other places like Disneyland or other places
yeah.
like Tokyo Disney Sea," and he's like, "No, I mean other places."
You're totally me. I'm like, yeah, like a Disney cruise, Disney Paris, sure. Like sign me up.
Exactly. Right, that's what I'm talking about.
Sabrina, do you have anything you want to leave the folk before we end today? This was so much fun.
I know. Thank you so much for having me. I think really just, you know, if you make sure you do your research,
Yeah.
that's what I want to leave the people with. I know people don't always want to do research when it comes to planning a vacation,
Yep.
but it can really make a huge difference and it can make your trip go by so much smoother. Um, Shameless plug, I do a lot of Disney tips
Yep.
on my page. My TikTok is at Thrilling Adventures of Sab, and then my Instagram is at Thrilling Adventures of Sabrina. I have a ton of different tips and stuff to help, or you can shoot me a message. I love helping. Um, So yeah,
She's really
definitely.
helpful. She's really
Thank you.
helpful. And
Yeah.
again, from the bottom of my heart, thank you so much for saying yes to me. Thank you for being my first guest on Magical.
Thank you.
I
I'm very
really
happy to be here.
so grateful, so grateful. And honestly, like, please come back in the next couple of months. Like, I would love to have you come on and we'll talk some more about some things, like talk about the parties, all the good stuff.
Yeah,
You know what I
yeah,
mean?
absolutely.
Seriously, from the bottom of my heart, thank you so much. Friends that are watching, thank you all so much. Thank you for commenting. Thank you for being here. This is so special to me, and I really, genuinely, from the bottom of my heart, never take any of you for granted. I've got people talking to me on TikTok. I've got people talking to me here, and it makes me so happy that people are interested in what's to come. You know, so our next episode is going to be the first Sunday of June. We have my good friend Stephanie coming on, who previously was part of the Disney cast member experience. So she's coming on to talk all things Disney and some of her favorites. I love you more. Thank you for being here. Thank you so much. Enjoy the concert. My friends, we have next up on the Breakthrough Show Network tomorrow, we have Project Joy Live with the Queen of Joy herself at 9 a.m. Eastern Time. So check that out. She always has some kind of way of just really like vibing my morning by starting it off with, no pun intended, but joyful. My friends, as always, I'm going to leave you with this. May your days be filled with pixie dust and your dreams be as magical as a Disney fairy tale. Until next time, my friends, keep the magic alive. And thank you so much for being here. And I will see you next time on Magical Melodies. Thank you, Sabrina.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.